If you just had your best year in roofing sales, listen up, because the next 12 months could quietly undo everything you worked hard for. And I don't mean a slow market. I don't mean a bad storm season. I mean you, your habits, your blind spots, and a few money mistakes that feel completely normal until they're not. What's up, Roof Money Pros? Mike here with Roof Money Pro. My mission is to help roofing professionals like you maximize your careers and build wealth. Now, this channel exists for one specific person, the rep who's closing deals, stacking commissions, running hard, and still looking at his bank account at the end of the year wondering where the hell it all went. I've been there. And I know what it feels like when that finally changes. Now, if that's you, you're in the right place. And today's video is probably the most important one you'll watch all year. If you're not subscribed yet, do that now, because every week I put out content built specifically for reps just like you who are done making big income and feeling broke. Now, by the end of this video, you'll know how to stop lifestyle inflation from eating your best year alive, how to build a buffer that keeps you sane when sales slow down, and how to shift your entire money focus from income to net worth, which is the only scoreboard that actually matters. And stick around, because at the end, there's a number that genuinely changed the way I think about money, and it might do the same for you. Now, here's the thing about a peak income year. It feels like validation. One storm season, one great market, one hot summer, and suddenly your commissions are stacking up faster than you know what to do with them. And that speed is exactly the problem. Income spikes faster than financial maturity does. Your bank account jumps, but your knowledge of what to actually do with the money, that takes time to catch up. And right in that gap, confidence kicks in. You start taking bigger swings, bigger purchases, bigger risks, because it feels like you've figured it out. And here's the trap. Lifestyle inflation feels earned. You put in the work, you hit the doors, you close the deals. Of course you deserve the new truck. Of course you deserve the bigger house. And that feeling isn't wrong, it's just expensive. And maybe the worst thing, 1 year can set your habits, good or bad, for the next decade. That patterns that build right now when money is flowing are the ones that stick. This is where many high income earners trap themselves. That's why this conversation matters so much. My first year in roofing sales was my best year at the time. And the choice made back then to treat it like a foundation instead of a jackpot is what made every following year better than the last. That first big year wasn't permission to spend. It was an opportunity to build from. Now, this is the part nobody wants to hear, but it's the most important move you can make right now. Freeze your lifestyle for 12 months. That does not mean live like a monk. It means don't lock in new, permanent expenses. Don't upgrade the house. Don't sign a new car payment. Don't take on any fixed costs that assume this level of income continues forever. Because here's the brutal truth about commission-based income. Fixed costs are the real enemy. A mortgage payment doesn't care if it's a slow January. A car payment doesn't care if the storm season moved west. Every fixed expense you add during a high income year becomes a pressure point during every slow month that follows. Test your discipline. If you want to upgrade something, rent the upgrade before you buy it. Take the nicer vacation, stay at the better hotel, but don't lock in the bigger mortgage payment until you've stress tested that number against a 30 to 40% income drop. Ask yourself this: if your income dropped 35% next year, can you still cover this expense comfortably? If the answer is no, you're not ready to make it permanent. Now, let's be real. Freezing your lifestyle when you're making well above your basic needs is genuinely hard. The temptation is real, but here's what makes it easier. Know your core lifestyle cost number, which we'll cover in just a bit. That number is the anchor. Everything above it is a choice, not a need. When you have that number, you stop making spending decisions based on emotion. You make them based on math. Most of financial advice stops at build a 3-month emergency fund. That's fine advice for a salaried employee, but you're not a salaried employee. You're a commission-based roofing rep, which means your income can go from a monster month to a dead month without zero warning. You need more than an emergency fund. You need an income smoothing reserve, a volatility buffer specifically designed for variable income earners. Here's how to think about it. Take your average monthly expenses over the last 12 months, not your worst month, your normal. What does it actually cost you to live? Rent, groceries, car, insurance, all of it. Your buffer target is simply having enough set aside to cover that baseline for 3 to 6 months, and eventually 6 to 12 months. So you can pay yourself a consistent monthly salary even when sales slow down, and never make a desperate decision just because rent is due. Think about what it feels like to be desperate in sales. You take bad deals, you cave on price, you say yes to customers you should walk away from. All of that happens because there's no cushion. A volatility buffer changes your entire negotiating posture. When you don't need the deal, you can afford to hold out for the right one. And look, this is something I know firsthand. Going through a rough patch in roofing sales is uncomfortable in a way that's hard to describe to people who've never lived it. But knowing there's a personal salary locked away that can cover the slow stretches, that's peace of mind that money can absolutely buy. This, along with the strategy on how to easily live off less than what you make without being tempted, is exactly the kind of system that's built inside the F.E.A.S.T Cash Flow Mastery course. If you're serious about getting your money working as hard as you do, go check it out. I'll drop the link in the description. It's built specifically for reps like you who want a real system, not just generic budgeting advice. Now here's a concept that genuinely changed the way you think about money. Instead of spending your surplus on things, spend it on future decisions. What does that mean? It means using a great income year to fund things that aren't here yet, but that you know are coming. A business you want to start, a baby on the way, a parent who might need help down the road, a year off you want to take, a career pivot you've been thinking about. Most people only fund the present, but the reps who build real freedom fund the future. Now, just a year ago in early 2025, the plan was already in motion for me to leave roofing sales and build Roof Money Pro full time. And the months before that, 60% of every single commission check went straight into paying off my home and beefing up a cash reserve, not into investments, not into lifestyle, into freedom capital. By March 2025, the home was paid off. And when the time came to make the leap, there was enough in reserve to cover expenses for a couple of years without touching investments or taking income from the business too early. That freedom, the ability to build and serve others without financial panic, came directly from treating a high income period as a runway instead of a reward. That's what prepaying future life choices looks like. You don't always know exactly what's coming, but you know something is coming. And having capital set aside means you get to choose how you respond instead of being forced into a corner. This next exercise changes everything. And almost nobody does it, which is why you'll succeed. You need to define two numbers. Your bare bones number and your freedom number. Your bare bones number is the one we've already covered and is the bare minimum you need to cover life. Rent or mortgage, food, utilities, transportation, insurance. That's it. For me currently, that number is around $40,000 a year. That's the floor. That's what survival actually costs. Your freedom number is what it costs to live the life you actually enjoy. Not the life that looks good on Instagram, but the one that genuinely makes you happy day to day. For my wife and I, that's around $75,000 a year. That number covers everything, with room for fun, without any financial stress. Here's why this matters. In commission sales, it's incredibly easy to get shiny object syndrome. A new watch, a boat, more frequent rounds of golf, a bigger house, a luxury vacation every quarter, a bit more generous picking up the restaurant bills. And none of those things are wrong, unless they're pulling you away from what actually makes your life feel full. When you separate your ego-driven goals from your actual fulfillment goals, spending decisions get a whole lot clearer. You stop chasing a lifestyle that someone else designed and start funding the one that actually fits you. Once you know your lifestyle number, the next question becomes, how much of that needs to come from assets instead of your labor? That's where true financial independence lives. It's not about stopping work, it's about making work optional. Now here's the mindset shift that separates reps who build wealth from reps who just make money. Stop measuring success by what you earned. Start measuring net worth monthly, asset growth rate, personal savings rate, and ownership rate. Net worth is the only number that tells the full story. Income is just the raw material. Net worth is what you built with it. For years, I've tracked net worth religiously at the end of every month. It takes me less than 10 minutes with my cup of morning coffee and chill lo-fi tunes playing, because what gets measured gets managed. When you can see your net worth growing or shrinking in real time, you make different choices. You think twice before adding a liability. You get excited about paying down debt. You start looking for assets instead of accessories. And here's a real number to put that into perspective. Starting in late December 2021, when I got hired at a startup roofing company, my net worth sat at $160,000. By mid-2025, when it was time to leave, roughly 3.5 years later, my net worth had grown to $670,000. That's more than quadrupled. Not from a lottery win, not from a crypto play, from simple, consistent money management applied to roofing sales income. Think about what that means for you. If you're a rep making solid income right now, even $80,000, $100,000, or $150,000 a year, and you apply real structure to how that money moves, the compounding effect over the next 3 to 5 years is enormous. Now here's what to take away. Your best year isn't just a reward for your hard work, it's a responsibility. The reps who win long-term aren't the ones with the biggest trucks. They're the ones who kept their lifestyle flat, built a volatility buffer, defined their enough number, and shifted their focus from income to net worth. Now here's the 2-line version of everything covered today. Freeze your lifestyle so it doesn't freeze your future, and track your net worth monthly so you can see exactly how far you've come. External circumstances are temporary, but the habits you build during a high income year, those can compound into something that lasts the rest of your career and beyond it. Hey Roof Money Pros, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now because the next video might be the one that changes your financial life. Next up, watch the Silent Investor Playbook for high earning roofing sales reps, where I show you how high earning roofing reps turn commission income into real compounding wealth without stress or noise. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, keep stacking, keep building, and I'll see you in the next video.